Hi, I'm Chris and I am a Doctor of Nearlyology, which means that I have a practice-based PhD in creative writing from Bath Spa University, and the subject of my thesis was nearly writing nearlyology. I'm also a writer, and I founded IfBook UK, which is a charitable company, think tank looking at the future of the book in the digital age and digital possibilities for literature. And we support the New Media Writing Prize, which for the last 10 years has been looking for works of literature made to be looked at on screen, interactive, transmedia, using all sorts of different bits of technology. And if you go to the website, there's some fascinating examples of what's been happening in that field, which I know you know quite a lot about. So what's nearlyology? Well, it's the study of how the things that nearly happen to us influence who we really are. And it started as a joke. It's just my term, and it came about because I was looking back at my life and finding that I had vivid memories of some things which didn't actually quite happen. Whereas things that did happen that seemed incredibly important at the time, I'd forgotten really all about. It seemed a good subject for a comic novel, and later on for a PhD, which also explored how in an age where we use laptops, this phone, different ways of communicating, mixed media all the time to tell stories, perhaps we need to find a new way of making fiction, transmedia fiction, to better represent the lives that we actually lead. So the research was about how to compose across different media, how to think through the best form for telling a story. And then the work of fiction actually ended up being quite a conventional novel on the one hand, which works as a book. You can download it from Kindle on my website. But it also includes songs which are supposedly written by a character in the novel, and artwork, and workshops, public workshops where I'd gather people's nearly stories, which seemed to me to be absolutely part of the whole project and the story, just as much as the fiction. So I've now got my PhD. I'm really interested in developing the whole nearly project further, and I'm very much hoping that you might be able to help. I'm hoping you might design a nearly book using any mix of media, digital and/or analog, in which are gathered a collection of nearlies. And these are short descriptions of times when something nearly happened to you, what happened instead, and how you feel about it all now. The nearly book would also allow readers to add their own stories, illustrate or illuminate them in some way perhaps, but in the case of regrets or memories that readers really want to let go of, that there's a way of writing them and then letting them fade away. I think a nearly book might not be very much like an ordinary book at all. It might be a performance. It might be something that you just find in your mind and you're not quite sure how it got there. It might be something that you can walk around, an installation, something that you can touch and scribble on. It's really entirely up to you. Actually, I suggest you take the whole nearly concept wherever you like. While I was working on the PhD, we did performances, workshops where we gathered stories. I worked with a dancer. We did a nearly dancing, nearly writing workshops that are nearly therapy, nearly acting. It's a great thing that if you're an expert in nearly things, then instead of feeling like you're not a very good musician or songwriter in my case, I wrote nearly songs, and I'm very, very good at that. And recently, as a relief from all of that academic writing, I've been doing an asemic nearly diary, using not words, not real legible words, but scribbles and squiggles, abstract shapes to express something about how I nearly feel. So go wherever you nearly want to go, and hope you come up with some exciting ideas. I look forward to talking to you and meeting you sometime. Cheers, bye.